box. The
Fair
ones
enough.
that I got rid of, I have noticed they get the chat going a little rowdy, and I'm not trying to do that. So
Well,
I'm handling it how I feel that I need to handle it. I'm not trying to disrespect you in any way. And if you feel that way, I'll apologize right now, but that's not
I
what it's about.
I do feel disrespected and emotional damage. Is wanting an apology. I don't know what she's wanting an apology for. I did a video. It's on my page. You can go watch it. Um, I'm not trying to be
Okay, so right
dis
now, let's you and I
anyway.
talk about you and I.
Um,
I don't know you from anything whatsoever,
no, I don't
whatsoever.
know you.
I knew nothing about you until until I seen you put a video out about me.
Yeah, hey Trisha. Yeah, I
And
called you out. I called you out. I'm gonna admit,
yeah,
I called you out.
and then I privately messaged you to try to take care of this, and which you know, I use the word tool a lot, and I did say be a man, don't be a tool. Um, you can come to me about anything, and I'll sit and talk to you like an adult and very respectful about it. But then you turned around and made another video and put that on your live when I'm trying
To,
to handle this. I
to
was
let
trying to handle this with you
to,
privately to
to
be
let
respectful.
to let people know, to let my followers know that you wanted me to go live with you. That's the only reason why I did it.
No, that's you could have just went ahead and told them that we were going live. You don't have to. Like, I'm not going to share any private message between you and I with anybody. Period.
There,
With no
there
woman,
wasn't there wasn't nothing
because
bad. There
that
wasn't
was done
nothing
privately.
personal or bad said. If anything personal or bad was said, I would not have shared it.
But some things I want to talk about. So you're telling me that you're coming after me
I'm not coming after you. No,
because
no, sir. I'm not coming after you. No, sir.
um
Please don't think I am, and please don't don't state it that way because I'm not coming after you.
well, that's not the first video that you made, you know. So I'm setting over in Chris's live one time, and it was the time that Doug, the day after, I think Doug did all that said all that horrible stuff to Verena. And I'm not about that. You don't speak to women that way. You don't treat women like that. Period.
Exactly. I
Period.
agree with you. I agree
All
with you.
right. So, I agreed with a lady. Someone said something about in the chat about you don't disrespect women like that, and I agreed. You do not treat women that way. You don't disrespect women. And
Exactly.
then you turned that into a post about me supporting somebody that treats women this way. Now, what I would like to know, and for you to show me receipts on where you show me where I should not be following this person that I want to follow because I like his content. You tell me that you pretty much said that he treats women, he disrespects women too. That's what your post was about.
He does
So
disrespect women, but that wasn't what it was about, Skenny Wayne. That
that's what it's.
you're teetotally
Well,
far from what it was about.
I'm not trying to twist nothing around, but
Uh,
your deal on there was you talk about not disrespecting women, but you follow this guy, and then you said double standards.
yeah,
That's
and that was
exactly
for
what your
everybody
post
in
said.
his box. Correct.
So I was in that box. So now you and I are speaking. So everything that you just said that you didn't say about me,
There's
you
receipts
just
all over.
admitted that you said that.
There's receipts all over the place of how he disrespected a woman that used to follow him. I don't know. I'm trying to get my boxes up here so I could show receipts here. Um, I, I don't know how to do it when I'm in somebody's box. I really don't. Um,
I mean, do I need to bring you up on the big screen? Well, I mean, does that help out? I don't know. I'm very new to TikTok, man.
me too, buddy. I don't know. I don't know how to do this, but I was trying to put my face up there too. But yes, there was a woman that, and there's videos of it. So there is receipts, and I can put it up on my video. I put it up on my TikTok for you too. I'll find the video. She followed him, was nice enough to make the guy a real nice sign, real nice wood burning sign that he could hang up and, his followers can see. And she did said something, and he got mad. He took that sign and he threw it in the fire. That's disrespecting a woman, and what he said when he did it, disrespectful. And what he says when people say something, and that he says, well, your mom did this last night, your mom did that last night. Ain't that
So I've seen that.
Ain't that
Hold on, I've seen that. But
Okay,
so if you want to bring that up, I mean that's fine. Let's talk about that. So I've been in this live and I've been chilling with them, and I sat there and study the chat and what's going on with the chat, because if it's unwarranted, I don't want to be around that. But when people sit there and talk about his mom and the stuff that they do to his mom and he does to his mom, just talking all that mess like that, and then he turns around and says something about their mom, come on, that's fighting fire with fire. Just be real about that. That's fighting fire with fire. Because every time I've seen those comments, it's the trolls doing it.
I'm not going to disagree with you with what's being said in the chat, because I don't go in the chat. I don't see the chat. And also another thing is, and I'm going to ask you a fair question, right here, okay? Like I said, I can't bring the receipts up here. I don't know how, but the receipts are on my page. A woman on October the 31st accidentally sent $100 to him. It was meant for her grandchild's birthday. He accepted the Cash App. She realized what she done, asked him to refund it. He declined the Cash App refund for a child's birthday. Declined it, and then got on there and said, first he said that he didn't accept it, and then he admitted to it, and then he said he wasn't sending it back because he got his refrigerator fixed. For one, it was October. His birthday's not in October. It plainly says happy birthday. His birthday's in June. Do you agree with taking a child's birthday, refunding it back?
Okay. So I do Cash App, and I do all the money transfer apps that they have. So every one of those apps have safety deals on them to where no matter what, you're not going to accidentally send anything. You have to send that the first time. Hold on, let me finish, please. You have to push first to send it, and then after that, you have to confirm that. So on I don't know about my Cash App, but like my Venmo, I got to confirm 3 times. It makes me go through it.
I don't know nothing about Venmo or PayPal or nothing,
And
but
now my Cash App and PayPal makes me do it twice.
I do use Cash App. I have, without a doubt, accidentally sent money to the wrong person. Lucky enough, I meant to send it to my daughter, but I've accidentally sent it to my son. It can be done. I have done it. I don't know nothing about Venmo. I don't know nothing about PayPal. I don't Chime or none of that. I don't mess with that.
So, have you ever taken the time to reach out to that man personally and ask him if he could afford to send that back? Let me speak, please. If he can afford to send that back, would he? Have you gone through the proper channels instead of just blasting someone like this? There's ways to go about things, man. You can get things done in a better way than you trying to ruin this man's life.
The guy is not going to send the money back, or he would have done it. He would not have declined a refund. He would not have said on his live the other day that he wasn't going to send it back, that he fixed his refrigerator. He wouldn't get on his live and beg all the time about his child support needing pay when he says, and he goes to the jockey lot every weekend. He just got through paying, I think it was said $700 for a dog, that he could have used that to pay for his child support. He could have used that to go up to see his kids, but yet he chooses not to. He chooses to get on here and beg, dry beg. That is what I'm bringing awareness about.
So, I've sat back in the
And
shadows and
I'm,
watched this man
I don't
for
know
a long
nothing.
time.
I don't know nothing about you. You seem like a cool guy.
I'm pretty level-headed, man. I just
I've
don't.
only,
I don't like.
I've only
I
called you because I'm calling his supporters, his followers, and his gifters out for the simple fact of what he did to that child.
Okay. Well, earlier I just asked you about coming after me because that's what you're doing, and you said no, you're not. And now you just
I'm
admitted to
coming.
me that
I
not
haven't
only are you
one
coming
bad
after
word
me, you're
about
coming
you.
after his other supporters and his mods.
I have not
So
said
let's get
one bad
that
word
straight.
about
What are we doing? Are we not coming after people, or are we coming after people?
you.
That's what I want to know. Be consistent with what you're saying.
I'm calling people out to let them know the awareness about the person they are following.
We follow this person and we see things. So how are we not aware? We're
You're
grown
not seeing,
grown adults.
you're seeing what he wants you to see. You're not seeing the truth.
Okay, so let me tell you something real quick. I sat back when I'm brand new on this app. All right, I come across that. I come across his live. Okay, I had people immediately telling me all this bad stuff about this dude. Oh, no, 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 no. So what did I do? Let's go stealth mode. You're not gonna know it's me. You're never gonna see me, but I'm gonna see everything about you. And I sat back and I watched and I watched. So I've been on here for like 5 months, I think. For 3 months, I watched that guy's live. I watched him and I watched him and I watched him. I sat outside the door. I did everything I could to find out because I'm not gonna sit there. Well, for one, you I make my own decisions. You can do
Yeah,
everything you
everybody
can
does.
to try to bring awareness to me, but I was taught old school, and I find out for myself on stuff. Period. I find out for myself no matter what. You're not going to be able to tell me anything. I it took me getting burnt by the fire for me not to touch the fire again. And that's the way it should be. Everyone has the right to find out for themselves. And the fact that I'm sitting here and I'm riding a line here sometimes, for sure, because I want to know if I'm backing someone that's good or if I'm backing someone that's bad. And if they're bad people, I don't have them around me. And for the time that I sat there and watched this guy, this stuff that you're saying to me and you're trying to tell me, I've seen none of it. I've seen none of it. I mean, and I understand, like, if you really think that this dude's doing something wrong, but don't come at somebody because they're standing up for themselves. You stand up against the trolls. You know what I mean? You're going after this dude right here, and I see your videos and everything that you're putting on about Chris. You're completely trying to tear this man down. When there's another creator over there that is completely dogging, talking trash to every woman that comes on his live, that battles him. He's one of the racist people I've ever seen in my life. Where's your videos on him?
Can I
Where's
can I
your awareness on him?
can I stop you right there? I agree
Yes,
with you
sir.
on Doug. I don't do awareness on Doug because there's enough people that do awareness on Doug. I don't do it. And at this point right now, the way Doug is, I don't think Doug needs any more people pushing that button on him because I'm kind of afraid that if somebody pushes that button on Doug, that Doug's going to get to the point to where he won't be here no more, and I'm not going to be the cause of that.
I understand that. That's
So
that has gone through my mind many a times.
don't do awareness on Doug. I let the other ones do it. I do agree with you on Doug.
Well, I will tell you that from what
And
I've seen, man,
okay,
I wholeheartedly
with
disagree with you on
KK,
the
you
Chris
could
thing.
go and watch the movies, or not movies. I'm sorry, my apologies.
The
The
videos, yes,
videos. I'm
I've seen
sorry.
them. That's
Um,
how being so new to TikTok, KK is how I have been able to actually go back and see a lot of this stuff that everyone's talked about and all this. That's how I've been
And
been
then
able to find out a lot about Doug.
one of my receipts that I had the woman that lived with him for 13 years and has his 2 kids, and she got blocked at the beginning of this live.
Yes, I blocked her because she was blocked from my other stuff. I know how it is for when a woman's trying to be vindictive. I've
She's
been on
not
the
trying.
receiving end of
She's
that
not trying
before.
to be vindictive.
That's
Nikki
not
is
something you'll be able to convince
doing
me
so
on.
much better for herself and them kids. So much better. And you know,
I mean, literally, this
I'm sitting
man
here. I'm
has.
trying to warn, but you've already got it in your mind that this man can do no wrong, but yet
I ain't
just
saying he can't do no wrong. I'm not saying that at all, and I'm not saying he hasn't done any wrong. Have you done wrong in your lifetime, Don?
Yeah, I've done wrong. I'm not going to admit that I haven't
So
done
do
wrong,
you?
but I
But do you
haven't.
have people
Have
sitting here
not.
trying to
Have
destroy
not.
your life over it, Don? You
Are you
don't.
gonna let me answer the question, or are you just gonna keep on? I mean, I'm
Talk,
trying to finish
talk,
answering.
Don.
I'm trying to
Sorry,
finish answering.
my bad.
You
Talk.
asked
Go
me a
ahead.
question. I have done wrong. I've got skeletons in my closet, but I'm not afraid to open up my closet. I don't get on here and I don't beg. I took care of my kids. I raised my kids. I don't get on here and beg for child support money. I don't get on here and beg for people to take care of my kids. I don't get on here and beg for people to take care of my dog I just bought. I don't get on here and I don't lie about food that I never did lose just so I can get FEMA money and take from other people that lost this one and that really need it. When he said for 2 weeks, and if you watched his live, he said that he could not get electricity at his camper because it was not considered a permanent dwelling. The storm come through, okay, now he's lost frozen food. He had a generator. Generator wasn't working. He said he didn't get it fixed until 2 days after the storm went out. Tell me how you lose frozen food. Tell me how you get a camper that's leaking from a storm when the camper was leaking in 2022 when he got the camper.
Okay, I have a camper too. When I got my camper leaked also. But I put work in it. My camper don't leak no more. So you're just gonna sit there and say that that he doesn't that he didn't fix his stuff? Like you're assuming things, man.
I've watched him. No, he didn't fix nothing on that camper.
You don't get to see every minute of this man's life. That's what I'm talking about.
I've watched enough
To,
of it.
to me, you're assuming. You're assuming that you know the fact. All right, and so I would like to move on to something else. All right, so you say that you do not disrespect women. This is something I do want to talk to you about.
Okay.
So you do not disrespect women, but actually, she can come right up on in a box right now if she wants to. You did a piece on emotional damage.
I did.
You made a big video. You assumed something and then fabricated this whole. It wasn't true. So this is a lie. It wasn't the truth. That's a lie. If it's not the truth, it's a lie. That's common knowledge. So this is a lie. And you did this and pushed this on this woman and caused this woman real world, real life damage to her. And it took you how long, Don, before you were proved wrong? Like she proved you wrong really quick. And you still refuse to take everything down. You apologized to your chat. You never apologized to emotional damage. You apologized to your chat. So if you want to talk about disrespecting women, this is things that was, you're saying that he's just saying stuff to a woman. You absolutely tried to destroy this woman's life. Straight up.
Okay, you gonna let me respond?
Yes, sir.
I know emotional damage is in my lives, so yeah, I had no choice but to apologize in my live because Chris has me blocked. I've invited Chris in my live several times. He won't come in. So I can't go over there. I think that's emotional damage. She is private. So I do apologize. I took it down.
She's right here.
And for one thing, Don, you never
I'm not coming in
apologized
here
to me.
getting, now listen.
And I've never came in your live. Show
Listen.
me proof where I've came in your live. Where's receipts? You said you got receipts. I want a receipt.
Now see what you want me to come on your live so you can get
No, you
back.
want one of
You
your
wanna
people
put-
up
you
here?
wanna
I'll
put
let you
me
have one of
through-
your people.
What?
Emotional damage. I know you come in my live and watch it. You might not come in under emotional damage. Here's Meg.
I ain't got but one count, dummy.
Dummy.
Yeah, I ain't got but one count. I'm not like you, got hundreds of count. I have a job.
I don't
have
have-
2 kids I raise
I
that
don't
go
have-
to school, that's in high school, that's in band.
I didn't
I
come
don't
in
got
the
time to sit here and record people's lives.
I didn't come in the live by Chris's followers and all my haters. I did not do that. And you blocked my followers. I
You
didn't
only
do
got 2 followers blocked, dude. You still got a whole deal of followers.
still get
You want
messages.
one in the box? They can come in the box.
But I'm gonna tell you right now, you're not gonna dictate who I follow and who I support.
You're
Just 'cause
not
I'm a
me
mod,
either.
Comments are
I don't care.
If the comments are turned off because one of my mods thought it was getting out of hand.
Don,
I
respectfully,
mean, I agree with that.
how long did it take you
Go in
to
here.
apologize?
And I have my SLED background check right here if you want me to put it on the screen.
I don't
So
need you
you
back.
can show your people you
already-
fucking
you've
lie.
already-
That's all that needs to be
You've already
said. I
proven
don't
that.
apologize.
You did not apologize to me. You apologized to your chat.
You promised this would be respectful.
It is
I am being
respectful, but
respectful
when
to
you
you.
try to make me look bad,
Up in here. Please bring KK up in.
She ain't trying to request nothing. You got Jill and Darlene.
Okay, bring Jill in.
yeah, because Jill knows so much about my life.
Well, let's let
No,
it. let's
emotional
listen.
damage.
so-
I'm not talking
so-
about you.
so-
I'm
so,
talking
guys,
about
we're not
Dawn
gonna-
getting. Oh, y'all
We're
are
not
going
to be able to talk over each other.
Y'all are the ones that are enabling Chris, and y'all coming in here attacking Chris and turning off the freaking comments so we can't speak our mind.
Boo-hoo! Boo-hoo!
Hoo-hoo!
We support
Are you a
Chris.
freaking
So
owl?
fucking what?
Okay.
I make my own money.
Hey,
I'm
let's
not
be
talking
respectful.
to you.
So, my mods were told straight up, if that chat gets out of hand, turn off the
Dawn,
comments.
there's no reasoning with these idiots, so you might as well just end it. They're turning the comments off. They don't let us speak their
Fucking
minds, so they're
idiots.
just going to come in here and jump you.
Bitch, please.
I know.
Bitch, please, fucking
I-
idiot.
honestly, I'll
Y'all
step
calm
out
down
of
with
the
all that.
box if you have more to say, and there's another person that wants to come in behind me. I have no problem with it. I've barely even spoken, even in the chat. I've
Who-
barely even spoken.
Who else?
But I do.
Wayne Liquor wasn't in? Can you see if anybody else is wanting in?
No one's trying to get in. No one's trying to get in. There's
How
no
about we do
request.
this? Emotional is upset. She's hurt. Who wouldn't be hurt, Don, respectfully, with what you did?
Meg, listen, respectfully.
Listen.
Uh,
I know.
Lit
let me
Liquor, I'm
speak.
fixing to let you in.
Yes.
Let these people in these box quit. Let them finish what they're saying. Let's please quit talking over each other.
I know you apologized, Don, but to her, you didn't apologize directly to her. That was not an apology because your apology, and I'm not screaming, I'm not raising my voice, I'm speaking reasonably. Your apology was only when you were pretty much outed awareness community. That's when your apology came out. Because let's just face it, when you were told right to your face, it was right there in black and white and it was shown. That's why I told Emotional earlier when I'll show you, you don't need to show him because he knows he was wrong with that. So for me, Don, anything you said or did from that point on, you lost my respect. You did.
It's
You
'cause
you
you're
really
a
did.
I don't.
Because what you
I
did
really don't.
is you did not, wait a
Let's
minute, let me finish and I will stop and I will jump out of the box. Because what you did is you did not apologize until you were outed to your community and other communities. And I know this firsthand because I had to literally go into another awareness community that was speaking trash on her. Was speaking trash on her. She has nothing on her record. She even tried to come to you. She tried to come to you and tell you, this is not me. They don't even have the same last name, not even in the same state. List goes on, Dawn. And you could have, actually you did hurt her because there's people that even to this day still have seeds of doubt in their head if that really is her or not. And you even wanted an NCIC instead of just a sled check because for you a sled check wasn't enough to
Meg, I'm
prove
sorry,
it.
but I'm sorry I didn't hear the last part. You moved away and it kind of faded out.
I was saying even when you were brought the information, and it was across the awareness community. And I openly spoke on it because this is a person, if I'm raising my voice, I promise you, I'm not meaning to be ugly. I don't even
You're
like
not
to
raising your
even
voice,
be in
don't,
this
but
conversation right now, but
don't
it
think
needs
you
to be
are. You're
said.
not raising your voice, huh?
You, okay, you lost my respect when you did that to her. Like that hurt me because that is my friend. She's my friend, you know? If someone does something to your friends, if they slander your friend's name for no reason whatsoever, it's going to hurt you. And it hurt me. That's why I went to another awareness group. I believe it was, and I have receipts for everything. If anybody wants to ask for any receipts, I got receipts for days. Because, honey, I keep texts from way back. I keep screenshots from way back. I do. But that's beside the point. I'm just saying, I feel like when it was first brought to you, you should have apologized to her directly. You should have personally apologized to her, and you should have said, "Hey, I was wrong. I should have done more research." But no, you wanted to argue with her. Even in chat, you argued with her, and I have screenshots of that, and other people in the awareness community. And I'm not going to mention any names in here because I'm not that way. I'm just not going to do that. If people want to see receipts, I'll show them receipts. But there are people in this live right now in the awareness community that still backed you during that time when she had that sled background check done. And you wanted an NCIC done. That wasn't enough to have just a sled background. No, a South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, they did that background check and she was clear. I'm just going to stop right there. So again, that's where, and I know you're going through a hard time right now, Dawn. I know you are, and I feel for you in that. And I felt for you then, and I told you I'm praying for you, and I still do to this day. You know, I know you're going through a hard time, but
But wait a minute,
if
wait a
you're
minute,
going to bring
wait,
awareness to people,
Meg,
then you
please,
need to get your facts straight.
please let me say something. You just said that you're praying for me, but yet you said the other day on Chris's live that you wish that you didn't say that you was praying for me.
I said, what?
No, she would have never
That you
said
wish.
That is a lie. That is a
I
lie.
heard it with my own. I heard it. It might not have been them exact words, but it was something like in
No,
that.
it was never those words. And I'm sorry, I did interrupt you there. Go ahead.
It was something in that effect. I heard it in that live. Somebody was talking about me, and
All I'll say there, Dawn, is that's not.
bother me. That, but that's
It
listen.
doesn't matter if I like, if I agree with you or not.
It
If I
don't.
think you're in the wrong or not, that is not my heart, nor will it ever be. And let me just get this straight right here too while I'm on it, because it hurts my heart. It hurts my heart that y'all are out there feeding bull crap to everybody, trying to make them think that I'm trying to gather people to Chris's side and give him money. And you think that U.S. Army man, I'm just going to put that out there. My father is I still speak in present terms because I feel like he's still here with me. And I know he is. He's a Vietnam vet. I'm sorry, Mom.
I would
And
like.
I know, but you let me finish right here. Let me, please,
Meg,
just let me
Meg,
have this word.
I want to say thank you. Thank you to your dad for serving. That was very, very
Thank
nice.
you,
Y'all
Lola.
please let her finish real quick.
Thank you. Thank you. But for this right here, it hurts because the lies that are being spread and around is that, oh, I'm trying to gather supporters for Chris and he paid that US Army vet that's a bronze purple heart. I messaged that guy, Shirley. I messaged him and I got him to pay for his partial child support. I would never.
That's a lie.
Anybody that knows me knows I would never do that. As a matter of fact, when he first started coming into the lives, which was recently, and again, I'm raising my voice, but it's because I'm about to break down crying because it hurts.
My husband has been gone from this world.
I'm sorry. See, this is why I can't even get upset with this.
Okay,
Because I don't want her to get upset. But let me just tell you.
Mom, calm down a little
Just-
bit.
She's okay. She's okay. Let me just tell you that hurt me. That hurt my mom because we see that, and you're sitting there trying to lie. These people, your mom, your support, all these people are trying to rally and say that I'm trying to gather support for Chris monetarily. No, I have never done that. As a matter of fact, when U.S. Army vet comes in there, you know what I do? I always do purple hearts. Everybody knows that's my emoji. That's what I do.
Okay, can I say?
Utmost respect when he comes in there. I don't want. Chris doesn't want to dime from him.
Liquor,
Go
please.
ahead.
Please.
I'm done.
All right. I want to know, were you like approving of Chris body shaming people as well?
Body shaming?
Yeah, I believe
First
that
of all-
he said some horrible things about Don.
Yeah.
Yes. Listen, I know he did. I don't agree with that. But another thing I don't agree with is pushing his buttons to the ever-loving limit, to the ever-loving limit until he blows up and he says things that he regrets saying.
So I will say something real quick.
And I'm not excusing it. No, I'm not excusing it.
Before I
You
don't know.
can't poke.
I don't know if you or most, but before I go on, let me get this out right now. I don't want to forget about it. I don't want to get off the live and forget about it. Let me get this out right now. Emotional damage. I don't know. Do you know how to turn on a camera on these little cameras here?
Who wants the one on?
No, I'm just saying. I want emotional damage to see.
I see you.
Okay.
So you want a camera? You want the camera on, Don? Is that what you're saying?
She's. Can you see my face? Besides my.
Let me turn your camera on, Don.
Okay, turn
Hold
my
on,
camera. And let me know what I look like. I know I'm bald. I know I'm old.
So you have to turn your camera on yourself, Don.
My camera's turned on. I don't know.
Gotta hit save.
I'm hitting the camera. I'm hitting the camera here, and it says you can invite Don to turn on his camera in 19 seconds.
Yeah, I'm still getting my. But anyways, my point is, anyways, I wanted her to see my face. But emotional damage, I do apologize. We're on here. I do apologize to you. I should not have took the information that was given to me.
Well, next time you need to come to the person.
Please.
I'm listening.
I am apologizing. I am reaching out. There we go. Apologizing. Let me get my glasses. I'm not afraid to admit I was wrong. I was wrong. I shouldn't have took that information like that. Yes, I was. And I did apologize. I did make a video. The video's still up of me apologizing. The video of what I did is down. It's not up. It hasn't been up for a while. So
I just want to let you know I would never do that to my children.
I'm reaching out to you, apologizing to you. If you forgive me, you forgive me. If not, then I did what I could do.
You know, my
Meg,
mom always taught me to forget, to forgive people, even though they know they're in the wrong. That you forgive them.
exactly. You can forgive, but you can't forget. I live the same philosophy, and
Just
exactly.
because
And I
I'm
even
in
and be
somebody's
honest with
mind does not mean I'm a
you,
bad person.
no, you're not about. Be honest with you. I tried reaching out to you personally. I found your Facebook. I tried sending you, but I guess if you don't get a friend, I tried to send you a message to talk to you. Um,
Yeah, thank you
personally,
for
me and
my
you,
request. I
me
don't
and
even
you.
know how to get in my request on
Yeah,
Facebook.
but I'm apologizing now. Let me say this. What Wentlinker was getting to. Meg, you said you was hurt. You know, by whatever. Chris body shamed me about my weight loss surgery. I have to have a knee replacement. That's why I had to have weight loss surgery. But on June the 21st of 2023, I had a gastric sleeve. One of the staples did not go through and did not clamp and leaked. And I got an abdominal abscess and I got septic. And on June the 30th of 2023, I was in the hospital on my deathbed.
I'm gonna mute my
I
mic
had
because
to have surgery. From June the 30th until September the 1st of 2023, I had all kinds of surgeries. I was in the hospital. I was on TPN. I was on two different antibiotics through a PIC line. I got sent home on home health because they didn't know if I was going to make it. And for somebody to get on here and to take that and to say that I don't know when to quit shoveling food in my mouth. Listen, I was 428 pounds. I am now 275 pounds. And I'm getting
Congratulations.
ready to have a knee replacement on the
Congratulations.
26th.
I was about to say, I was letting him
I
finish.
have fought to get to where I'm at today for somebody to sit and put me down like that.
First of all, I want to congratulate you for that. That's an accomplishment, and that's a lot to have to go through. That is a lot. And unless you've been in somebody's shoes like that, you don't know. You don't know that pain and that hurt and that everything. You know. So that for that, the only thing I will say, obviously Chris isn't in here right now, but I know he. Again, I am not trying to. And I know it's going to come across as I'm defending him. But Don, when you're constantly getting darts thrown at you, sometimes have you ever said things out of hurt, out of anger, that you really don't mean? That you just say to kind of fight back at that person? It doesn't make it right. No, it doesn't. It doesn't make it right for either party.
Well, I have a question. What about
I'm
all the
gonna
times
say
that
you.
Chris?
What's that?
I said, how about all the times that Chris says, your mom's on her knees and all this, and I did your mom
Does
real
do
good
that,
last
Miss
night.
Hooker. You
You
are
like? I
correct.
mean, I'm just saying. I think that that's pretty disgusting. And I'm going to drop down in a minute, but I just want to say, if
So,
you're a
but what
beggar on
about the
TikTok,
comments?
if
No,
you're
What
a
about the
beggar on
comments
TikTok,
where they're
we're gonna
talking crap
bring
to
we're gonna
him?
bring awareness to you. If you're a beggar on TikTok, he knows what he's doing. He's a beggar. He's been like that for a very long time. He's only getting worse. And I will continue to make awareness on him and every other damn beggar on this app. So
Thank
you
you,
guys
Lynn.
can defend him, but we all are in the awareness for a purpose because he takes advantage of older women, people he just wants money. He can work for himself. He says his back hurts, but he's out there picking up logs and hammering this and sawing that. Come on.
So Lint Liquor, can I
So,
ask you?
can I
The
say
whole
something
time
real
that
quick?
I've known him, he's never asked me for a dime. He's never asked my
Okay.
mom for a dime. He hasn't.
He's not, you know what? It's called dry begging. Do you not know? I've followed this man for many of years.
Well, you know what
And it's
actually
never
first put
changed.
me on to watching him is because when my father was still here, and it's a really hard subject for me to talk about. I try to be,
Thank you,
I try
Verena.
to be strong in it,
Sorry.
and I try not to break up because
Sorry, Skenny Wayne.
I know my mom, she was married for, 45 years to him. Well, when my dad was in his real bad sickness towards right before he passed, she got on TikTok and she saw Chris. And let me just tell you, everything that I ever witnessed with that man, I was like, oh, that's neat. And he's sitting there outside with the kids, with his significant other at that time, and I saw how he interacted with his family then. And you might disagree with me, but I guess I saw him in a different light as the awareness community has seen him in, but I didn't see him in that light. And no, I did not. I did not. And I have literally sat here since, how long have we been following him? And we talk to him pretty regular. And no, we ain't in no kind of relationship for whoever out there is going to try to spin that, because Lentler, they will.
I've never said that.
They've already done that. He's just a friend to me.
I've never said that.
Well, I'm just gonna set
Chris,
out.
thanks for the roses.
I didn't say you, Dawn. But I'm
You
saying,
guys can get upset. You guys can get upset, but he does dry beg. He says, "Oh, I wish I had enough money." What about when he was on vacation in South Carolina at Myrtle Beach? Oh, we need money. We don't have money for groceries, but we're down here for 19 days. Who the hell goes on vacation for 19 days and not has any money?
Exactly, and
Let's
also,
be for fucking real here. Come on.
and also another thing is,
vacation was camping, because that was good. But I understand what you're saying. I'm not,
that Lentler was talking about on the vacation. We get a hat that's, I would put a $20 price tag on it, and you're gonna sit and you're gonna ask people to send dollars or whatever, and you're gonna make over $100 on one hat.
okay.
That's not scamming, because if I'm gonna do something that's worth $20, I'm cutting it off on $20.
Well, it's because it's signed by him. Yeah, I mean that makes it, that jumps the price up real fast, doesn't it?
But
It's not signed by him.
my question, wait. My question to you guys are, who else does that, and who else doesn't get flack for it? That they do the
Whoever
same
else does
thing.
it, we bring awareness to them. It don't matter. Chris is no
No, you
different. We
don't.
bring
No,
awareness
you
to
don't, honey.
everybody.
No, you don't.
honey.
I go through this
Really
TikTok.
don't.
I'm everywhere, all over TikTok, and I can tell. I ain't gonna say no names, but man, I
make
see so
videos
much
on
stuff.
Chris because it's funny.
People
If
taking
I wanna make
$100
videos
fishing
on
pole.
scammers, I will.
I've never seen that. I don't know nothing.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna go after someone for this, you're saying you're going after him because he's dry begging, and then you're saying you're going after him because of the hat thing. I watch people
I'm going
take
after him
something that is
hardcore.
$100, and then they make $1,000 off of it. Where are you at on that? Why aren't you on those people?
Because I don't
Because
see
right now I'm focused on Chris, okay? There's
Well,
so
okay,
many out
so-
there, but I do bring
I
awareness
bring
to a lot
awareness
of
on-
them. 4 different fucking accounts, dude.
on
I bring
Chris.
awareness to a lot.
I bring awareness on Chris. I bring awareness on Matt. If you don't know who Matt is, that's Country Boy Matt's New Journey. I can tell you however many. True Knowledge. I'm getting ready to start bringing awareness on this Ashley chick.
Y'all need to bring awareness to Mr. Alpha Beast or Best, because the only thing he wants is cash out. He goes
Who?
out to eat and be like, "Who's gonna pay for my lunch? I need a cash out." But y'all over here on a damn man that's
What?
trying to make a living, and he out here begging for cash
He
out.
can
He's
make a
actually
living. He can get
begging
a
for
job.
cash
He's
out.
had a job
Who-
before. He can get a job.
What's
Just like the
who's
rest of his
Jeffrey?
supporters have. They make a job. They have a job to support his lazy ass.
I have a job. I don't support him. I just sit there and I'm a mod.
Just leave it to the other old people to fucking deal with it.
Oh well, if they
He's a
want
fucking
to, if they
scam
want
artist.
to
You
give
guys
him
are
money,
like-
that's up to them.
You're no better if you're gonna fucking mod for a scam artist.
Oh well, then I'm no better.
You are no better, and I've said that before.
I am a grown woman. I can
Like,
spend my
so
money
am I.
how I
So am
want.
I. And we all pay our fucking bills on our own. I don't ask a goddamn person.
I
for
pay
nothing.
my bills on my own
Good.
too.
Tell your friend Chrissy.
Hey.
Let's try not to say
Hey.
the GD word.
Hey.
I'm just going to say
Yeah,
that. I
yeah.
say
Could we
cuss
keep
words.
that word out of my
Let's
life,
just
please?
keep the GD out there. I just,
I won't
it
say
offends
anything else
me.
about any other cuss word, but please don't put God's name in it like that, please.
And I
I agree
I
with
took
you.
care to raise my own kids. I didn't ask nobody to help me pay my child support. I didn't go out and say, man, I didn't make this much today. I'm gonna probably be in jail Monday because I can't pay my child support. I didn't do that. I paid my child support because I worked every day to do it. I worked daily.
Now let me ask you a question.
Raised 4 kids.
Did this man
4 kids.
physically ask people to give him money? Or did he just say, "Hey guys, I'm going to
Yes,
jail
he's
Monday
asked
because
money.
this
He's
happens
asked
and
for money.
I can't pay my child support."
He
Yes,
had
he
Well,
says
that's
yes.
begging. That's
He
dry
dry
begging.
begs.
That's
He
what they
knows how to
call
do
dry.
it.
begging.
Yep.
He knows how to do it. He knows what to say, how to prey on people, how to use their little
All right.
heartstrings and say, I don't have money to pay for my kids' dinners or Christmas, or I don't have money to get to gas to this damn job interview. He's a scam artist, right? I mean, I don't understand why you guys can't open your eyes and
So
see this.
Lint liquor. Do you know
let
how many
Don talk,
times
please.
he's
He's
been
been trying to
close?
say something. Hey guys,
Oh, I'm
let
sorry.
Don say something, please. He's been
No,
trying.
I was listening to them, Skinny. I did not.
Oh,
Go
okay.
ahead. No,
I just
no.
wanted to make sure you had your fair chance.
Yeah, I
All right,
appreciate
Meg.
I
Go
was
ahead,
just
Meg.
gonna say. I was just gonna say. You know how many times that maybe he's been close to the child support point, but not one time has he asked me. And I guess you guys would call it dry begging. I guess you would call it dry begging because he's expressing to me what's going on in his life because I'm his friend, and he's going through a rough patch, And I listened to him. No, he never asked me for anything. Did he not talk to me after that when I didn't gift him or anything like that? Mom and I hardly even gift him. I know everybody thinks we're like the number one gifters and everything. No, we're not. We gift here and there. Yeah. How many galaxies have we ever gifted him? I don't even think we gifted one.
everybody says, what's your dry begging? What's your dry begging? Can somebody tell us what dry begging is?
I can. I
We
know
all,
what it is.
we all give definitions, but let me give you a thing from what he did Friday or Thursday or Friday. And this is a dry begging. And you all can disagree or agree with me. Did he not get on the live? And as soon as he got on the live, guys, I'm probably not going to be here Monday. If I'm not here on doing live Monday, I'm going to be in jail because I can't pay my child support. Did he not do that?
He did.
So he shares his feelings and emotions with
No,
his
no, no,
chat
no.
and
You
his
can
friends,
share.
and y'all call
Share
that
Damn,
dry
I
begging.
must be a dry beggar too. Because
Put
sometimes I
extra
tell my
details
mom,
into it.
One,
He
because
doesn't. He
Amongst
knows people are
friends.
gonna feel bad for him, and they're gonna give him the money because they don't want to see him go to jail.
they did.
One person at a time, please. Yeah, but that's up to them to do that if they want to do that. This man is not sitting there saying, I need y'all to give me this amount of money so I don't
Oh,
go through this. He's sitting there
Skinny.
telling his people, look, guys, you're not going to see me on Monday because I didn't make anything this week and I can't pay this. So the alternative is I have to be locked up.
What
So
about? What about? I'm
Let's
not
be
gonna
real
send
about
out
that.
flyers
That's
because
him
they don't
sitting
have
there
money.
talking to his people, and you're sitting there turning around saying that he's dry begging. Now, if somebody wants to give him something, that is their prerogative. That's their business.
And
It's
that's
their
why the awareness
business.
does what they do because it's our priority too. That's what
yeah,
we
it's all.
do.
And to sit and say, try to make his gifters and his followers feel bad by.
If he wants to give that man something, they
I'm
can give
not.
that man.
I'm not getting the gifts. I'm not doing what I used to be able to do. So I don't know how long I'm gonna be able to do this. I don't know if I can do this anymore. Blah 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 blah. The man can't pay his child support because he don't have a job. If he gets a job, like I said, I don't care if the man's out in the middle of the field shoveling shit. At least he's getting taking care of his kids, paying his child support. He could get on here and battle all night long. I don't give a damn.
Well,
But the
do you think?
drive man,
Do you think?
sit and try to make your chat and your followers feel bad because they're not throwing gifts and they're not doing this and doing that.
May I ask you something, Dawn? Do you think that man
Can I say something
shoveling
real quick?
shit? Go ahead.
No, I don't think. I said I don't
So
care if he's out
it's
shoveling shit.
it's hey Texas. I'm fixing to turn these. I'm gonna get these. I'm gonna get your people back in here in your chat. All right.
Okay.
Ask your people to keep it calm and not take it out of control again, and they won't be, and that chat won't be turned off again.
Okay.
But I want to be respectful in that way. But your
Okay.
people got to be respectful in the chat. We are talking here.
Please.
You, us, in the boxes, we're talking.
Please.
So, if you know how to turn it on, please turn the chat back on.
Followers, please be respectful. You know, we just like the Mexican home life. Just like the Mexican home life. I know we're all, you know,
Hey, quit! Get down!
you know, on
We're all
here.
on
Hey!
all sides.
Be
Let's just
respectful.
admit we're all
Ain't
human
no
on
that
all
shit, dude.
So what I was gonna say, Dawn,
Hey,
is
back to you. No, I did not say that. I didn't say that he was shovel, and I think he is. No,
I know you didn't, honey. I wasn't trying to say that. What I was saying is, let me ask you this: that man that's shoveling shit, as you said, okay, that
Now-
man that's doing whatever to survive, you know, whatever the work may be. Don't you think sometimes he has to do a little bit in between or whatever, you know, from paycheck to paycheck? That man that's still shoveling shit, he's still trying to figure something out. You know, he's still at the end
Jeffrey.
of the day.
Hey, he didn't say he's shoveling his shit. He said that he should get a job even if it is shoveling shit.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's what he said. He didn't care if it was shoveling shit,
Yes,
but he
he's
had a
not
job.
saying that that's what he does.
And Jeffrey,
I know. I never said that. I never said that.
Hey, Don,
huh,
we're up here, Don, not in the comments. Let
I'm
them be
just-
themselves in the comments.
they want to know why I don't cover SP. I left SP a long time ago for the simple fact is I did not agree with children being brought up. I didn't agree with children being prayed and wished harm upon. So I left SP. I don't watch SP. I have nothing to do with SP. So how am I going to bring awareness on somebody that I don't have nothing to do with? I'm not going to talk on it if I'm not going to do it. Just like Doug. Doug's got enough people on him. I don't need to bring awareness on Doug. Doug's got enough.
I got a question.
Mom
Yeah, well,
wants to
one
speak
of one
here.
of the one of the
Hold
comments.
on. Lint Liquor, I'm sorry. My mom, she very rarely speaks here. She hasn't hardly said anything. And Florida Girl wants to speak for a minute.
Hey guys,
Hey,
sir, Don, I'd like to ask you a question.
Hold on, I can't. You're going to have to speak up a little bit, honey, if you can.
Okay, I just, this is my question. I'd like to know how you said that you didn't want to cover Doug because too many people were covering Doug.
Yeah.
And you were afraid, and this has happened because of bullies and people saying things, so many people coming at one person, whether they're doing something or not. I mean, but so many people have been bullied on this app that they've unalived themselves. And that's what I understood you to say. The reason why
What? No, don't get me wrong. I didn't say bullying because I don't believe nobody's bullying when they bring awareness. That's not
Okay.
bullying.
Okay, well, let me rephrase that. There are people that have unalived themselves because too many have said things about them. I guess I'll put it that way, if that's the way you want me to put it. But you didn't want to press Doug's buttons any so far.
Did you see how Doug was acting? Did you see
Because
how Doug was
because
another
of
night?
his, can I finish, please?
That's a great point.
Because
Yeah, but I'm
of
just
his, because, let me finish, please, sir, please. Because of Doug's actions, and I feel vile. I think he's horrible to his supporters. everything. We can all agree on that. But you, even though you strongly don't like him, like many people that watch this do on this app, they don't like Doug. But you did say that you were backing off him because so many other people were covering him. Put it that way, covering him, and you did
Wait a
not
minute. I
feel
didn't.
like
I
you
didn't. Say
needed.
I was. I didn't say I was
Can I
backing off.
finish, please,
But
sir? Well,
I
that's
didn't
what
say
you
I was
said.
backing off because
Let
I
her finish, Don.
for Doug.
Let her finish, Don.
Okay, so
Go
whatever,
ahead, Florida girl.
however you phrased it, you said what I interpreted you was that's why you weren't covering him. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what you said. You weren't covering him because he was being covered by so many others, and you did not want to put him in a place to where he unalived himself. That's what I took. Is that right?
That is exactly what I said. Yes.
Okay, let me ask you this. Can anybody in this chat feel good about themselves if they did the same thing to Chris? If Chris
I mean,
was pushed, wait, let me finish. So many people, not just you, a lot of people are coming at Chris and have come at him. How would you feel if this man took his unalived himself because the pressure got so much from people?
Would you feel proud of yourself, your awareness groups? Would you feel proud of that?
as far as I know, I am the only one that covers Chris.
No, you're not.
No,
Definitely.
no.
As far as I know, I mean,
Definitely not.
other people might touch on Chris. Other people might make cartoons to show awareness. Um, but the last that I thought that I was invited into this live for was for Chris, not Doug. I don't do awareness for Doug.
I was simply making a comparison.
Exactly.
That's
That's all she was doing, Dawn. She wasn't.
Doug
She
has
was simply trying to make a comparison there. You don't want to cover Doug because so many people cover Doug, and
I don't bully nobody. I bring awareness.
Only cover so many people. Do you know how this is like a full-time job just on one person? It's a full-time job.
And there are a lot of people that are their full-time job includes Chris.
Yeah, that's me. I work full-time and do this.
You know, we just have to agree.
Now,
with
there
this.
are people in the comments that are saying, how about when Doug or Chris asked on Christmas when he took his kids to the Walmart and said, oh, would you like that? Oh, I'm sorry, you can't have that because we can't afford that.
Yes, that's
how many times? Okay, I'm gonna.
Well,
I'm not
Christmas
even
only
gonna
comes once a year, so I'd probably say the last year and the year before, maybe 2. I mean, 3. I mean, let's be for real.
Okay. So what I want to ask?
What about when he
what I
buys
want to ask you? Maybe you're not in a financial
if he was
bind.
gonna that she's so ugly that she needs a paper bag over her head. What about that?
Look, I don't agree with that. And he said that. I don't agree with it. Whatever. You know,
well, you are who
that
you
whole
keep
sector.
company with. Let's just remember that. Okay, so you may not support that and agree with what he does, but you are there. Let me finish. We all let you talk. We let you talk.
Okay, go ahead.
You guys are enabling this man to not get up to do anything for himself. He knows he can get online. He's got these people that are going to be like, oh, we love your fires. We've never seen a fire before in our lives. Let's give you all our hard-ass earned money. And then he gets mad whenever nobody gives him and says, well, I'm not going to do a fire anymore. I mean, he's a manipulator, and he gets what he wants. And nobody's going to, tell me any different. That's why I bring awareness to him. And I will start bringing awareness to other people. But right now, Chris is who I have, he is the love of my life right now. So I am going to bring awareness to him.
Oh my gosh, Liquor.
Just
Please
remember
stop
that.
it.
No,
Stop
I will
it.
not. I will never stop. Our love
I'm gonna
is
say
worth fighting for.
you're like you're the least threat of all the freaking trolls. I'm gonna say that. Like I laugh all over the board. You hold, like, you don't have a specific person. You just whatever. Yeah. But all I'm saying, sorry. Go ahead.
I want to say something. Y'all talk about the man having a job and all that. Okay, so it seems that he does use social media, and that's how he makes his income. All right. I very well understand about being messed up and having a messed up back and all that, and I understand the fact that if I just sit there and don't do anything, I get worse. I have to move. I have to get up, move, do things until my body tells me I can't anymore, or I'll get stove up, and that's the end of it for me.
Exactly.
I have to, and I understand that he when you see him out there doing that stuff, he's moving around because he has to. All right, the battling and what y'all call the dry begging is not the only thing that this dude does. I sit here and watch videos that this dude puts out for a TikTok shop. This dude is working his ass off on these videos, and he's doing a shit ton of them.
I like
you can roll your eyes all you want. I make videos for certain content creators and certain businesses on here where they do their stuff.
But in that aspect, I can get on here and say, man, this stuff is wonderful. It's absolutely. That's all he does. I can get on here and do that.
You know what? I don't care what kind of job you have. Like you said, if you're shoveling shit.
Me? I'll tell you what I got. I'm all.
She's not talking about you, man.
Oh, okay.
No,
Let her finish,
I'm
please.
just saying anybody. I don't care what you do. You know, I don't care if you're shoveling shit. I don't care if you're working for the TikTok shop. I don't care if you're sitting there battling all day. That's how you make your living. That's how you make your living. And sometimes things get hard towards paycheck. Everybody lives paycheck to paycheck nowadays. So, I mean, unless you're just rich and you don't have to worry about that and what comes around at Christmas time, you know. Oh, goodness, yeah, I don't buy that.
But I understand that. But do you tell your boss at work, well, I guess I can't come in because I ain't got enough money to come into the store today? Or I mean, come on. This may be his job, but he's not taking it very seriously. If he wants to work for TikTok, that's fine. But he doesn't need to indirectly ask for money. That's what he does. Indirectly ask for things.
What has he done for his kids? Can anybody tell me what he has done?
Have you seen him? Have you seen him on a day-to-day basis, Lint Liquor? Have you seen the videos he does? Have you seen the hours he puts into it?
I know him inside and out.
Stop. Just stop. I'm not talking to you no more.
Well, don't ask questions that you know the answers to. Have I seen this man? Of course I've seen this man.
You know what I'm trying to say here. See, this is why I can't talk to her. She makes me laugh too much.
I do watch him, yes,
Anyway.
a lot of times. I screen record him when I'm not home.
But my point
watch
is,
him all
you're
the
not
time.
with him 24/7. You don't know how many hours a day he puts in his job. You don't know what time he goes to work and what time he ends. You don't know that. You don't.
No, I don't. You're
Do
right.
you?
But what job? TikTok, you mean?
Okay, can
I'm
I
not
ask?
worried about what he does off the. I'm
Whatever he
talking
does,
about
you know?
while he's on the app, and basically says, if you guys don't give me any money, I can't. You know, if I can only make $5 a day, I'm not going to make any more fires. That's not cool, man. Anytime somebody does that, we're going to bring awareness to you.
And
You're
tell me.
going to bring awareness regardless. That's just what y'all do. And we can all agree to disagree on that. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we're not ever going to agree. You know, we're just not. But the one thing we need to stop is sitting there freaking bullying people and sitting there slandering people.
It's not
and sitting there
bullying and it's
spreading
not
false
slander. If we
information.
record what he says and we replay what he says, that's not slander. He says it
It
out of
ain't
his own
just
mouth.
him,
But
honey. It
but
ain't
then
just
you go
him.
after
It's
his
me.
supporters, and then you go
Emotional
after his mods.
damage.
Who goes
What y'all
after
did
his
to emotional
supporters?
damage was absolutely wrong. Don, you did not do your homework on that, my man, and you should do your homework anytime you want to go after
And he
anybody.
apologized. I believe.
Anybody. I know, but
It
you
ain't
still
just
made
Don.
that conscious
Yeah, he just
decision.
apologized tonight.
You still made the conscious
You know
decision
how
to
many-
tell something that wasn't truth. You had this big fabricated lie out there. You still chose to tell that and spread that and push that when
What do you
you
think
even
you're-
knew that was wrong, buddy.
Intimidating me, Skenny Wayne? Because I'm far from intimidated. I'm tired of getting yelled at.
I'm not intimidating you.
Yelling
I'm
at
just
me.
telling you, and I'm not
Don't be
yelling.
yelling
I
at
got a
me,
loud
buddy.
voice, period,
Don't
Don.
be yelling at me. I don't care. I got a loud voice myself. I'm not getting intimidated. I've asked 3 times.
I'm not
that
intimidating you.
Neither one of you all have yet to answer. Neither one of his followers in this chat has yet to answer. Answer me, what has he done for his kids? What has Chris Mostetler, William Christopher Mostetler Jr. done for his kids?
Okay, let me
How am I
ask you a
supposed to know
question.
that? I'm
Let
not
me
in his
ask you a
day-to-day
question,
life.
Don.
How do I know that? I'm not in his day-to-day life. Don, how do you know that? Because you're not in his day-to-day life.
Unblock
Liquor,
me.
you're on here through
Nikki, and we'll
an app.
find out what he does for his kids. You won't unblock Nikki, and she can say what he does for his kids. He does nothing for his kids.
Let me ask you this. The man hasn't been to jail yet for not paying the child support, has he?
See,
Not
that right
since I've been
there.
on here. Not that I've seen.
That you assume something that you did not do investigation on, so that proves that you can make a mistake just as well as anybody else.
I do make mistakes. I never said I don't.
Has
I'm
been
human.
to
Yeah,
jail
why don't you
for
guys
not
bring
paying
Nikki
child
in here?
support.
Let her tell her side.
Unblock Nikki. Let Nikki come in the box and let Nikki tell her side.
Okay, let me ask y'all a question. When he was in that camper with Nikki, neither one of them had a job to support their damn kids. Did y'all go after Nikki for not supporting her
Yes,
kids?
we did. Yes,
Yes,
we
we
did.
did. Absolutely did.
Yes, we did.
Yeah,
but she
that's
bettered herself by
before.
getting out of that
Nikki
relationship.
now has a job. Nikki takes care of the kids by
Okay,
her.
but now, but not back then when she was laid up. She's supposed to be homeschooling the
back off of
kids.
him as well, but
Because
he hasn't even tried to make a difference.
because he wouldn't let her go nowhere without him or one of the kids.
That's not true. I'm sorry. I just,
Oh my
I
Like
respectfully
like
disagree.
she said, he held her hostage. She was just at Dollar General. If you were held hostage, you really think I'm gonna go
He
back?
would say you can take one child with you and leave the other one at home with
Mhm.
him. That's what he would do. So if you're going to try to leave, you're not going to leave with one kid. You're going to take both of them. She got the opportunity. You think she wanted to go out to those cops and say, "Hey, I'm being abused. Help me out of this situation." You think she went to the cops for nothing? She had an opportunity, and that's why she got out. That's why we don't cover her anymore, because she's bettering herself and her children.
Doug
And
Tree
On the other
Service, you're
hand,
fucking
Brother,
out of here
doing
with
it all
this
day.
shit, dude.
if you're all going to leave her blocked, I'd rather not talk about her unless she can come in here and take up
We're
for
not the ones
her
bringing her up.
and put her words in what she knows. I'd rather
I
not.
liked how emotional damage
You know
just
what,
told us.
y'all?
Is that why he wasn't supporting
Wait,
his kids?
Let me just say this.
So she knows.
I don't
Can I just say,
support nobody's kids but my own.
nor Nikki, neither one are here to defend themselves. So, you know what? We just need to leave
But I
them
was
out of
invited in
this.
here for Chris.
That's between them. That ain't between us. That ain't our business. That's not our business. At the end of the day, it's not our business, is it?
Then
Do I ask you about your ex? Your ex? No, I don't.
Well, we're
You
not
can-
on the
Because that's
internet
your
and the
business.
social media
You ain't got
for
your
our
own.
lives to be blasted. So yeah, there's another reason. We don't
You
get
can-
on the internet and do this
What
shit.
about-
So you wouldn't ask my husband that shit or anybody else's. That's
I
fine.
mean, I've got.
No,
I've
because
got
you know what? We don't do specials on y'all. We don't
Me
do
and my
that.
ex wasn't
We don't
working.
sit there and
What do
dig
we
into
do?
y'all's life. We don't
What do
do
we
that.
do? What do we
That's
do?
bad.
What do we do? He brings his business to us.
I don't care what y'all do.
But I'm.
Okay, well there you
I
go.
don't care what y'all do. That's your
I
life.
should be getting paid for this shit. This is too much.
That's your
man.
life. You
And there's one thing.
life.
There's one
You
thing that.
live your life, honey, the way you're gonna live your
Talk
life.
about my
Yeah,
ex.
go for
I ain't gonna
awareness.
dig
Yes,
into your
thank you.
ex. I ain't gonna dig into you. I'm not gonna do that.
But you.
That's your personal life. And
Can I-
honestly, I feel like it does not need to be on TikTok. Period.
But my ex. This is my ex.
Unless you have lived day in, day
Three-
in, and day
I've got
out with
three-
that spouse.
I've got 3 beautiful kids by my ex. And I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm not gonna sit and I'm not gonna send $1 cash app and say I miss you, I want you back, and then send his people from his followers to go tell Nikki that he misses her and wants her back, and she does have receipts on that, and then sat and let somebody, one of my followers, sat and talk shit about her, sat and let them send a message, a dirty message to her, but yet I'm going to send people to want her back. That's not right.
But
And I'm
you
all
cannot hold
I'm
us
gonna
mods
say is
accountable for
about
what
kids.
he does in his
I'm
personal
going to
life.
end with this. I'm going to end with this right now. I'm going to keep doing awareness on Chris until he stops the dry begging and stuff and gets a damn job. He can get out and drive Uber or something. Don't give money to nobody on this app. Donate to your local charity. There's holidays coming up. There's going to be kids without Christmas. Go donate to them. People on here,
how about, I
he
agree.
can get his own freaking
I
job
agree.
of his own self. Now we come on here. We tried to talk. Y'all not going to listen. Y'all in your own mind. So you go do you, and we're going to do us. And we love you.
That's perfectly
Nobody said we
fine, but
love
the
you.
only thing I asked, Don, is can you
And
please,
and don't be
and the rest,
and please don't have some guy sit and try to be religious, but sit and talk the dirty stuff that he talks about people's moms and stuff. That is disgusting, and don't use God as a money grab. Have a good evening, guys. I'll talk to you later.
Have a good one, Don.
I don't know how to get out of here.
oh my. So I pretty much feel like that went nowhere, but
That didn't go anywhere on either
what
side.
I really wanted to get at the end is please, stop going after
tried to
his
have a
people.
cool ending.
Going after his mods. Stop
Right.
trying to make accusations on us that are not true. Stop trying to do that. Well, it's just like I spoke of earlier. Like seriously. Yeah, the dog wasn't
so
$7. That's what I said in the chat too.
so he's gone. I don't even see him in my deal anymore. So we're gonna quit talking about him. No, he's still here. If he wants to come back in, he can come back in.
I'm sure he is. I'm sure
He's still here.
everybody is. That's just everybody does that. They sit at the door and they want to hear more. But I honestly wish they would stop going after. I know a person, and I will never speak someone's name. I will not do that. But I know, talking about elderly people, I know an elderly lady that her husband has cancer. You know what? I have sat there and talked to that woman. I check on her. Do I try to dry beg for Chris for money? No, I check on her because literally Chris, his so-called supporters, even if they just do likes, are pretty much like my family. Like I consider them family. So I literally check on them. And for someone to sit there and spread lies, like I'm literally trying to rally people up to bring money to him, it makes me sick to my stomach, especially when it's somebody like Army Vet, I just, ugh. I don't know, but I appreciate you being able to get him in here and us all together, even if a lot of us feel like it went nowhere, we still
Yeah, I
spoke
don't
our
feel like
piece.
it went anywhere, but still gonna give the man the respect. And I
Yeah,
also wanted to talk to him about him putting me on in his videos.
right. And that's not right. You shouldn't sit there. And that same elderly woman has told me, and I will not say her name, but she has literally, I have receipts I will never show, but she has literally told me she's scared to gift anybody because they go after her, they attack her. And this woman that her husband has cancer and she's older. Like, if the woman wants to gift how she wants to gift, leave her alone. Like, what is wrong with you? Do you even know what that woman goes through day in and day out? No, you don't. But you're bringing awareness, so continue your awareness.
Well, I'm ready to go to sleep. Yes.
Yeah, so in my opinion, no one really has the right to try to tell anybody that where they can go, they can spend their money where they want to, and for anyone to attack someone, for them to do what they want, go after them, whatever you want to call it, you're making their life unpleasant for them. That's not right. So no matter what, in my opinion, that is bullying. That's not awareness, and that's the only thing that I want to say about that. And Jeffrey, I just wanted to meet you is the only reason I asked you that, sir.
Oh, Jeffrey's in there. I hadn't even been paying attention to the chat. Hey, Jeff.
I just somebody that it seemed like I would want to meet him. So there's a few people in here that I want to meet. I'd actually meet all of them.
And he's pretty well unbiased, and he listens to everybody. I will say that, you know.
You have to send me a request, Jeffrey.
Skenny. Jeffrey.
Yes, ma'am.
Jeffrey, one time, because of everything that's coming at Doug, when he was,
I'm bringing Jeffrey up right now.
He probably
Okay.
saved his life.
Jeffrey, he doesn't want to take any credit for this, but he needs to have credit where credit's due. Chris, this is just like water off a duck's back for Chris because they've been doing this to him for 3 years anyway. Doug was new to the TikTok world and social media, so to speak, and he got kicked out of a place where he was staying, camping. He didn't have anywhere to go, and he was down under a bridge with his dog, Blue. And honestly, not just myself, a lot of people thought he was going to unalive himself that night. And Jeffrey talked to him. And I think that's the reason why he's still with us today, because of Jeffrey, and because Jeffrey, whether he thought what he was doing was right or wrong, he didn't want to see someone unalive themselves, because once that's done, and I don't know Doug's heart, I don't. Only God knows his heart. But once that's done, there is no more chances for redemption if choices haven't been made correctly. Let's put it that way, for eternal life. And he had enough compassion, and he stayed with him throughout the whole time until I can't remember exactly if somebody came up there or finally just laid down and went to sleep. Yeah, there were several that were trying to talk to him and telling him to settle down. Yeah, Verena was there too. She was there. There were a lot of people on both sides of the fence that didn't want that to happen to Doug. And Doug's got problems. We all have problems. I think Doug has a lot of things that have happened to him in his childhood that makes him bitter toward women. I think he's got a problem with possibly some abuse from his father. I don't know. I don't know how he was raised. I just, from things he said when he's been drinking, I think there's a whole lot of things that we don't know about Doug that's brought him to the point he is today. So, but Jeffrey, you were a big reason why that man is still breathing today.
He was a godsend.
Well, I just tried to help him out, all I could. I mean, some people you can't help, but I just wanted to do what I could. How you doing, Skinny?
I'm doing good, man, and hey, I'll give you utmost respect for that on these stories that I just heard, man. I've been that person before that was in that deep dark spot. I live a pretty good, calm, chill life these days. I do my best to do right. I try to do my best to be in my word and just try to be a good person. But in my younger years, I was not. I pretty much lived in a very deep, dark, black spot. Didn't see light for many, many years, and it finally took me. What made me finally open my eyes and change is the fact that every person that I knew and loved had to turn their back on me and walk away, and I was absolutely alone in life for a while. And then that's when I realized that I can stay going down that road and I'm going to end up in the dirt, or I can take a stand and do my best to change. And I did. God was very much help with that. I had a man come to me at one of the lowest points in my life to where I didn't want to be here anymore. Pretty much do the same thing that they were speaking of what you did with Doug. I still keep in contact with that man. He's still somebody that I absolutely have love for and I'm thankful for on a daily basis.
Well, I'm glad you got it turned around, man. If you ever need anybody, feel free to hit me up. I mean,
everyone has a chance to do that in them somewhere. I mean, you get buried underneath all the stress and all the emotional damage that you do to yourself when you're like that. That's one of the biggest things a lot of people don't realize. When you're in a deep, dark hole like that, if you have a good heart, that heart's damaged and it's not really showing. But you still feel those emotions and everything on the inside when you do bad. So when you do talk out bad to somebody or anything bad, you just sit there and beat yourself up more and more and more and more and more. And it gets to a point to where you don't want to be around anymore. You don't care about anything. And that's always real touchy to me. And I always stand up for any person that ever wants to take that step and go through sobriety and actually give it a chance. You'll never hear me say anything bad about anybody when they talk about sobriety. They want to get sober, and I've seen many people cry wolf multiple times, rinse and repeat type of thing, and I still stayed by them, and I always gave them words of encouragement and did everything I could with my words and the love from my heart to help these people. And eventually they changed. But you're not going to change when you have what it feels like the world on your shoulders is just trying to drive you back down in the dirt over and over and over and over and over. And I'll say that I'm guilty of hearing Doug say some things and then going over there and talking shit to him about it. I'm guilty of that, and that's something that actually I've had to deal with that, because it's not right in my eyes. Like, I feel bad for doing that, which I'm a little different than a lot of people. I wear my emotions on my sleeve a lot, and a lot of things mess with me.
let me kind of tell you how I feel about the whole beggar scammer awareness. Let me just kind of give you a brief rundown of how I feel about it. I see things go on, and I'm not just saying with Doug and Chris. It's several people on this app that gets covered. I don't agree with everything they do. God knows I've told Doug, look, I don't agree with the things you say or things you do when you're drinking, this and that. But I don't know what Doug's been through in life. I don't know what's got Doug to the point he's in right now. That something is making him make these decisions. So I don't support Doug. I've never gifted Doug. I've never even gifted Chris. But here's my problem with awareness. Awareness sees somebody that, the awareness cloned the term dry begging, I guess you would say. And it's like y'all were saying earlier, if he gets on there and says, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do, I got to pay this or that or whatever, then they see that as dry begging. It's not him directly asking, but I guess you could say it's hinting or whatever. Where I stand on that is the awareness groups, and not all of them, but 98% of them nowadays, are not doing it with a good intent. They say, they say, oh, we're doing it to help innocent people from getting scammed. 6 months down the road, the main ringleader of all of it turns out to be scamming more than any beggar or anybody on the app was to begin with. So to me, if you think they're doing wrong and then you bullying, you doing this, you doing that, it's two wrongs either way you look at it. And I just don't think that, and I've said it for a long time, I don't think, even if somebody gets on this page every day and says, I'm starving, I need money, and they are legitimately scamming, I just don't think that warrants people bashing and doing this and doing that and riding them to the point that they may want to unalive. To me, that's not, the TikTok shop. And that kind of goes with Chris, because I don't know of any of the other ones that does that. But if he wants to do the TikTok shop, to me, that's legitimate money. And they don't see it that way. Oh, he sells them at, he sells the items. Well, who cares? They're his. They give him the items. He does the video. After that, they don't care what he does with those items. I mean, what's he supposed to do? Just keep every one of them? So if he wants to give them away or sell them or do whatever, and I understand the rules you have to go by on TikTok with it or whatever. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying, as far as me personally, I don't care what he does with those items. And as far as Doug, yeah, we know, it's pretty obvious. Anybody that watches Doug, we see that, Doug will do good for a week or two, and then he goes on a bender, and that's when you get the nasty language. The racial comments he's made, the stuff he says about women, I absolutely do not agree with. I don't even hardly go in Doug's live anymore due to that. But Doug's got some things going on that a little more than drinking, and I've heard several of them openly admit that there's some mental stuff going on. Yeah. But they still continue, to bash, in my opinion, until they do trigger a drinking episode that they know is going to happen anyway.
And that's...
Yeah, I think a lot of them just want to do that.
They do it for entertainment, and, they do it for views, and they'll say, we don't make money, and we're not doing it to build a channel and this and that, but it's all about followers. It's all about views. It's all,
yeah.
Listen, let me tell you why it's not about that. If it wasn't about the viewers, the followers, the possible monetary, if it wasn't about all that, would it not make more sense as awareness to simply ask people, hey, if you see this person, would you please just block them? Because when they flood those chats, I don't care if it's Chris, I don't care if it's Doug, I don't care who it is. When you throw 200-300 trolls in there at one time, hurling insults and doing this, for one, you push them straight to the FYP. You get the views up. You're constantly keeping, you're helping that live more than you're hurting that live. Mm-hmm. Then if you do a live on them and you say, oh, so-and-so's this and that, well, you might have 100 people in your live. 25 people in that live may have never heard of nobody. They might not have heard of Chris or Doug or Jen or whoever. But yet, guess what? They're going to go check them out. Well, when they go to that live and check them out, if they don't see what the awareness groups are saying, they eventually end up throwing yes. So at the end of the day, the beggars need the scam groups, the awareness groups, and the awareness groups need the beggars to continue this TikTok monopoly that's going on, because you've got a good cop and a bad cop, and at the end of the day, the good cop's making money and the bad cop's making money. The only people that's losing on TikTok by any of this are us, the actual just followers.
He's right. He's completely right.
And, you know, I've
Very
said it from day one. They work together and they don't even know they work together. I've seen everybody back off of Chris, and Chris's lives have 80 or 90 people in them. And then when the trolls come flooding in, hurling insults, doing this, doing that, those lives jump right back up to 300 or 400 people.
Right.
Boom, straight to the FYP. And with TikTok, when you hit that FYP, every time you hit it, you getting pushed out to a bigger and bigger and bigger audience. So if awareness really wants to make a difference and change, why don't they block that person, along with asking anybody that comes into their room to block these people? They don't want it to stop. They don't want the beggars to stop. They don't want the scammers. They don't want none of that to stop. They want it to continue because it looks good for them to put other people down.
You're a very wise man.
Yes, he is.
Very wise.
He rarely ever gets in a box, but
Jeff rarely ever does this, Skinny. He
No, I
really does.
used to go live. I used to go live a little bit and getting boxes and things, and it ended up about, you know, me as a grown man trying to defend why I watched Chris or why I went to Doug's. Well, I can sum that up for you because I go to work, I pay my own bills, I live my own life. I'm a grown man, I do what I want.
Yes, sir.
But I'm not one-sided enough to sit here and say, oh, Chris is all bad and the awareness groups are all right. I'll never do that.
it sure is. It sure is.
At the end of the day, if your average TikTok follower would really sit down and examine what's going on, it's a huge monopoly that is getting played between both parties. And I don't even think they necessarily, it's not buddy work together. It's just by the universe that this group needs this group and so forth and so forth. And if you watch, it happens with every person they cover.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Let me ask you something, Skenny Wayne. You've been on the app a little while. How many times have you ever been in a group to where they're doing an awareness live and heard any of the awareness people suggest to the general public to block this person? Not go to YouTube and watch them, or not sit outside, but actually just block this person. Because here's what's happening. Here's what happens on TikTok. If you come across a beggar on TikTok and you block them, and a little bit later you come across another one and you block them, after you do so many blocks, the algorithm's going to pick that up, and guess what? It's going to quit showing you beggars on TikTok. We see beggars on TikTok because that's what we follow.
True story.
But no, I mean, like Doug that night, you know, I done what I could do to help Doug. I tried to make Doug aware of, you know, what was coming his way. And Doug thought I worked with SP, you know, so I kind of had to walk away from that at that point, because anybody that really knows me on that knows that's Father saying from the truth.
Right.
I remember when Doug first started, before he ever
That
started on
liquor's
that,
not lagging on my end.
Before Doug ever got really bad on that drinking stuff, because I had been following Chris for so long, he said, this was when he was still at his first place. and he was making his benches and all that. Anyway, he said, "Who's this SP woman?" I said, "Nobody you want to mess with." I did. I just said, "You don't want to get to know this one." And later on, he found out. But I think he's just been, and it's like you say, Jeffrey. I mean, like that night at the bridge. I mean, I don't agree with anything he does, but I do think that something has really, when he's not drinking, he's kind of okay. But
You know,
when he starts that drinking, he turns into a completely different person. And I think he's using alcohol to drown out the root of his problems.
I don't drink. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't do any of that.
No, I don't
Same.
either.
But
But
I'll tell you this: if I was having to live that lifestyle, then I'd probably be drinking too. That
I mean,
to me, that would be miserable.
yeah, I mean, I look at him and I mean, he lives in the woods. It's coming up on winter, and I know that's his choice. That's what he wants to do. I mean,
Now, like I
that's his
said,
choice.
to me, I'm not excusing anything he does because I don't think it's right. I've told Doug I don't think it's right. But in saying that, I don't think it does me any good to get in the box and talk with Doug and do this and do that, because at the end of the day, Doug's going to do what Doug wants to do.
Yeah, and until Doug realizes that he's got to make this commitment to himself and he's got to want to get better,
Right.
it's never going to happen.
But I'm not going to go over there and bash Doug for everything Doug does. If you watch, like, the things, the people that they cover on here, they say, oh, they do this, they do that. Well, the people it's getting done to are usually not the ones bringing the fuss about it. It's usually the awareness that sets back in the back, and they assume that these people are being done wrong, and there's really no proof of that. Yeah, you might get somebody that pops up in a chat and says, oh, I give him $1,200. And then you say, well, show a receipt, show a cash app, and they never show the cash app.
Because there isn't one.
So I don't know. I mean, to me, it's bullying. Like I said, if you wanna bring awareness and say, hey, y'all be careful. We think this guy's doing this and this. Okay, fine, whatever. But when it gets to the point, man, that landlords are getting called, campgrounds are getting called, police is getting called, DSS is getting called. To me, that's taking it a little bit too far, and it really makes no sense,
No, it doesn't.
And then just like with Don, I was trying to get up while Don was in the box. The misinformation.
I would have let you in if I knew who you were. I didn't really know who you were.
That's cool. But my biggest thing with that is when misinformation does get put out, then, they come on the app and they say, okay, yeah, you're right. We made a mistake. I apologize. I've had it happen to me multiple times. But, they say, well, we apologize. Well, listen, that don't erase the unalive threats. That don't erase all the nasty messages. That don't erase the 200-300 people that's standing in line like a school of hungry fish just waiting on some bait to drop. And what was done to Meg was wrong.
Very wrong.
What
was done to emotional damage was absolutely terrible.
Right, and and they come on the app and they like, well, I've said I'm sorry, and I'm like, okay, well, that should have been day one to start with, but does that correct what you've done?
To be honest with you, Jeffrey, it should be mind your own damn business and stay out of everybody else's shit.
I agree,
Yes,
and
stay in your own lane. Stay in your own lane.
But at the end of the day, like I said, I don't gift. Now I do have a gifter level. They certain people, usually the people I gift on this app has no clue who I even am. But if I do decide to give somebody, that's my money. And it's not, anybody's business who I give my money to. I mean, that's just, it's pocket watching is what it is. And to be honest with you, I know for a fact, I've seen it for a long time, that with Chris especially, a lot of the gifters were being diverted from one group over to another group. And they didn't care nothing about the money being given to Chris. They knew if they could get those people in their room, the gifts would be thrown to them. Because I've seen several times firsthand, and I'm just going to make up a name, Little Miss Susie is over there giving Chris gifts, and she's an elderly lady, and she can't afford to do this. And 2 weeks later, she would be over in that other life throwing the same amount of gifts, but it was perfectly fine because she was throwing it to them and not him. It's just TikTok monopoly, man. It's all done for views, money, and I don't care who disputes it. Everybody's
I
entitled.
firmly believe in the monopoly part. That's what it is. It takes both evils to keep it going. They're not going to benefit too much if it's just one or the other. It takes both evils.
But you know what, Jeffrey? You know what? This is what I think. Okay, Doug is, say, battling whatever, and they can't stand Doug, so they go over to his haters. They go to the other side, and they throw money, and they throw money, and they throw money, so Doug gets beat. Okay, he still keeps the money. He doesn't lose anything, but when they do that, it makes Doug's supporters throw harder, which makes him get more money because they're trying to let Doug win, and the other side's trying to make Doug lose.
So at the end of the day, nobody.
Like the only thing
At the end of the day, no one's winning in that,
no, because at the end of the day,
except for the people getting the money.
Well, how do we know at the end of the month they don't? How do we know at the end of the month they don't get on a private call and divvy up the funds between both groups, and both of them have a hell of a payday?
we absolutely don't know.
We don't. It's just I don't know how these people live their lives. I don't know if this person here does this, and this. I only see what I see on the live. Pretty much just like anyone else. They see what they see on the live, and then there's assumptions made. Yes, if the person does something wrong on the live and says some bad things or do something bad, then yes, they just gave them ammunition to go after them. But a lot of things I've seen, and a lot of videos I've seen today, it's all made from assumptions. And these assumptions being made can end up having real world effects.
Exactly.
Just like it did to emotional damage. And that is not right, man.
Well, we've
That's
seen
not
it.
right.
Some of us that's been following this for a long time have seen. We've seen some real devastating effects come out of both sides,
Sure have.
And my point is, you can. A lot of people on this app make the assumption, and even I've done it. I said from day one, listen, Doug don't have Doug's not in the right mental place to be able to take what y'all put Chris through.
No, he's
No,
not.
he
You're
doesn't.
exactly
He
right.
absolutely doesn't.
But in a way, I was kind of wrong for saying that because I have no idea mentally what Chris is going through from day to day.
Chris is.
That's why I brought that up in the
Exactly.
chat when they were all in there, because how can they, how can they say, like they, you know what I'm trying to
And they
get at.
took it
but
as
they-
an attack on them, and it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was just like, how do you know that, Don said that he
And- Another thing they do, they go after the mods. Well, when they first got on me, I wouldn't a mod. I wouldn't wouldn't gift, and all I was doing was going in Chris's room saying, "Hey, dude, what's up?" You know, this and that. Next thing I know, my inbox started filling up with messages. You know, threatening that. Man, look, I've had them go as far as to send me messages wanting to meet and scrap in the middle of the road because I watched somebody on live.
That's just crazy.
You know, now look, I'm old school and I'm a little bit smarter than that. I'm not going to put anything in text that says, "Oh yeah, meet me here." Da 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 da. I'm too smart for that. But if we just happen to bump into each other at the grocery store, then we're probably going to knock heads.
Mm-hmm.
It gets carried too far away, man. And these people feel to me.
Way too far. Way too far. I agree.
When you're going against and bringing a person's moderators into the situation, that's
Hey,
not right.
do y'all know who Jason is, or Bluegill 1.0?
No, I do not.
I know who Bluegill. Jason.
Who? Wait, who?
We have Jason requesting a box, and then Bluegill 1.0. Bluegill's been requesting a box pretty much the whole lot.
Bluegill used to mod with SP.
Blue.
Neither one of them.
I don't see Bluegill.
Bluegill, I really don't know a whole lot on. I don't.
I just see Jason. That's all I see.
She was with SP at one time. I know. I don't think she is anymore. I think she kind of branched off from when Lint Liquor was like, "I'm done with it." Can't blame her. But
Hey, you know what, Skenny Wayne? At the end of the day, they good people. You know, they may have a different opinion than I do, or a different opinion than you do, or whatever. But I mean,
Yeah, I just don't want to bring someone up that's going to start throwing words immediately that'll get me nannered. That's my only thing.
oh, okay. No, I don't. I mean, I don't think Bluegill would, but I may be wrong. I don't
Hey,
know.
Texas, I'm fixing to accept this. So you don't see it?
No, all I see is Jason.
Well, she's right here. I'm fixing to accept it, and I'm going to give her an opportunity to come up. Just be fast with the finger.
I think she's probably okay.
I'm wondering why I don't see her.
She's got to be private or something, because I sure seen her.
All I see is Jason.
I just accepted her to come up. She's been trying to get up the whole life, so.
I mean, it's just difference of opinion, and I mean,
Yeah, I mean, we're all adults. At the end of the day, we can agree to disagree.
Exactly.
And agree, at least agree, just give the suggestion. Go about your business, stay in your own lane.
Yep.
Live and let live, you know?
well, my thing is, if awareness works, why do you still see Chris and Doug and Jen, and why do you still see all these people on the app? If what they're doing works, why are these people still on the app?
Yeah.
It don't work. It's done for entertainment.
Yeah. And I don't see how anybody has the right to tell anybody what they do with their money. It's just like, for instance, Diana. I feel sorry for that lady. I do, because I know, well, I don't know for a fact, but everybody says, and this is hearsay, so it's not a proven fact. I had a boss. I used to work for the state attorney's office, Florida, and when I was younger, and I did something stupid, and he called me in the office, and he said, "I want you to sit down here." I said, "Yes, sir," and I can't even remember what it was. It was something I clearly knew that I had done. I shouldn't have done. And he said, "I want you to write out the word assume." So I said, "You what?" "Write the word assume out." I said, "Okay." He said, "Okay, now I want you to separate the ASS with parentheses." So I did. He said, "Now separate the you," and I did. He said, "Now separate the me." He said, "That's what you get when you assume."
Yep.
And I thought, oh, okay.
No, it's
Make
just
an ass
crazy.
out of you and me.
Yep. No, I mean, we're supposed to be getting on this app, having a good time and relaxing, doing whatever we do. And you get on here And it's like you going to court. You know, it's like you have to weigh the evidence out back. Who's the good guy? Who's the bad guy? And at the end of the day, if you'll really stop and look, the money comes full circle.
Yeah.
The money comes full circle.
Well, TikTok takes a heck of a lot of it from these battles.
And that's the reason TikTok don't do anything about it on either side. They don't do anything about the scamming. They don't do anything about the begging. They're not going to do anything about the bullying, because at the end of the day, they make just as much money off of one group as they do the other group, because gifts fly.
Yep.
And, you know, like I said, you know, and I don't even like to talk about it a whole lot, but I mean, you know, a lot of us seen what one creator done and led masses and masses of people to do the same thing, and then come to find out was a bigger scammer and beggar than anybody on the app was.
Yep. And that person was a big hater of Chris.
Listen, you know, just because somebody's hosting live and they say this person done this or this person done that, that don't make it a fact, because a lot of times that information comes from text messages, it comes from comments in live. There's really no actual proof unless you see it with your own eyes. Now, some things, like I said, the stuff Doug says he does to himself, you know, there's no, like I said, there's no excuse for it. I've told Doug it's wrong. It's wrong. But they're not going to get Doug off the app. And evidently TikTok don't have an issue with it, or he would already be off the app. And, you know, at the end of the day, Doug makes TikTok a lot of money.
Yeah, he does.
So they don't, you know, they're not going to take him off the app and him making them money.
Yeah. But it's,
You know, Doug said some, the racial stuff Doug says is absolutely unexcusable. The way he talks to women is unexcusable. Now, I will say this. I heard Don earlier talking about he got mad because Chris said he was fat or whatever. I don't even know what was said. But here's what I got to say to that. If you poke me 24/7 around the clock, I promise you, you're going to hear a lot worse than that come out of my mouth back at you.
Yep. Agreed.
If you poke the bear, you shouldn't be surprised when you get bit.
No, and you know, and that's another thing too. Look, I've got utmost respect for women, but I am not going to let a woman beat me down day after day after day after day after day, and never express
No.
my opinion, because at that point, you're not. And now this is just purely my opinion, but at that point, you're not being a lady.
no, you're absolutely not.
And I may be, you know, I may be wrong on that, but you know, if you want to be treated like a lady, you got to conduct yourself as one. And to me, hurling insults and slurs and doing this and that, and then get mad when Doug says something vulgar back at you after you've harassed him for months, to me makes no sense.
And he usually does it only because he's been doing
That's exactly right. Yep.
That's
mean-
when he would. Yep.
My biggest thing is exactly what you just said about the poking and the poking and the poking. No matter what, even the people that are standing against the bad things that are said, if they were in the same position and sitting there being hammered 24/7, you're eventually going to get your belly full. That changes you in your head. That changes you as a person. You deal with so much stress, so much BS, wondering where the next shot's going to come from. That makes you paranoid to have anyone around you. Well, is this person that's trying to come in my circle, are they fake? Are they going to end up doing this to me? It changes people, man.
Well,
And there ain't I don't care how tough you are or mentally strong you think you are. there ain't a nobody on this app that can sit there and take the pressure that I see a lot of these guys getting, and then they
No.
fold under the pressure. And then
Well-
that's what everyone's waiting on, is for them to fold. And once they fold, oh, well, they're the bad guy. Well, what about the person that is sitting there poking and poking and poking and poking?
That's
And, you know,
That
exactly.
person's not that good either.
I hear him say all of the time, he thinks the whole world's out to get him. He thinks, well, guess what? They are. They are. The minute he cuts that live on, he may have, and I'm not talking about one certain person. I'm saying anybody that goes live.
Well, have you noticed, Jeffrey? Have you noticed? And
It's unreal.
I have noticed just in more so in the last month, he is really, and I'm certain, I am certain because of the constant pressure he's under. I'm not excusing what he says or does, but he is getting more and more and more paranoid. He thought that pizza that was delivered to him was poisoned.
It's poison.
Yeah, but can I ask y'all an honest question?
Sure.
If me or you or Skenny Wayne or anybody in the box, if we got trolled the way he gets trolled, would y'all have eat that pizza?
No.
Probably not. Probably not.
Now listen,
I'd
you know,
have thrown that shit in the fire just like he did.
it's one thing when, you know, somebody sends you a message on TikTok. It's another thing when they're actually people in the area you're in. You know what I mean? That is because, you know, he didn't have no idea the pizza was coming, and how does he know that one of the people that troll him is not the one that set the pizza at the door up there? I wouldn't eat that pizza.
Yeah, but then you add alcohol to the problem.
No,
and it just has his paranoia. You know, he's dealing with not just alcohol abuse.
He's got
dealing
some
with
mental issues from his
He's got-
past.
yeah,
Big time.
He's got PTSD. He's got
And I don't know what those issues are.
that's why I say he needs help.
He needs some sort of counseling as well as the rehab. I think that's just my opinion.
He
But
does.
Don,
and doing it on his own.
he's gonna. That's what I was trying to get at in the live. Don backs off him because he's afraid that he's not. He doesn't want, because so many other people are on him. He doesn't want to cause him to go over the edge. Yet I pointed out, does Chris not have feelings also?
Yeah.
As
Well,
much as
You know, the danger in that is we don't know, because with mental illness, usually the one that looks to be fine is the one that breaks before anybody.
yeah.
Yeah,
So-
you're right.
You know, I don't, that's what I'm saying. I don't understand. I mean,
I wouldn't want that on my conscience at all. To think that I had pushed somebody so far that they didn't think they were worth being.
Lord, I know, I don't think it's okay to harass anybody on TikTok. I mean, now I will say, you know, if you harass me, do I think it's okay if I harass you back? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's probably not. It's probably not right, but it's going to happen.
Exactly. That's human
nature.
nature, and that's kind of what I was trying to drive
Anybody
there.
would do
Like,
it.
I mean,
Anybody.
you
I mean,
push
you
somebody
could-
to the edge like that. What do you think they're going to do? You sit there and keep pushing.
You're not
them
going to
and
take a
pushing them.
mountain lion and corner it and sit there and poke it or bear
And they can't defend themselves.
and
Of course
not
they're
have
gonna
them come back
and-
at you. Of course they will. Or if you get a mama bear and you poke at her cubs, they're going to come after you just like anybody. Just like that time I got so upset when, I don't even remember who it was. I think I don't want to bring her name up. It was not SP, but this woman posted, and I haven't seen her lately. So I'm not gonna
Now
say
that
her
part,
name.
I'm gonna say that
But
that
she
pushed
said
me.
some vile things about in the comments on her post after she'd said something about my daughter, and that just
I didn't even honestly. I didn't even care about the post. Like, whatever. They can sit there and say about me, but don't you mess with my family. You mess with my family and my friends, and then that's when I get hot. That's when you actually see a different
Well, this
side
woman
of
said
me.
that Megan must have daddy issues, and she must have been abused by her daddy.
You know,
Because she,
and here's another question that, you know, and look, I got mental issues myself, you know, and I guess part of that might be what makes me think and look at stuff different ways. But listen, we've seen the way Doug acts. So, like, the getting him kicked out of campgrounds and the things like that, I guess if you've got an unstable person, no matter what, would it not be better for him to be off in the middle of the woods than it would be maybe out on the city street somewhere?
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It could be better that way.
You know,
And then
and
that's where he wants to keep himself, is out in the woods. I want to say out of the eye of the public, but he's on
listen,
TikTok, so
I see it a little bit deeper, and I kind of think that, you know, Doug's at a point in life to where he knows, you know, he feels like and he knows that he's messed things up so bad in life that I'm just gonna, you know, and again, this is just my feeling, but I feel like maybe Doug's hit a point in life to where he feels, let me get a tent and go out in the middle of the woods, and maybe there, you know, I'm not gonna hurt nobody, I'm not gonna do whatever. But yeah, here comes along TikTok to where everything we do and say is analyzed, you know, more so than we even do it on the street.
Yeah.
You know, because we all know, look, if he was on the street and saying some of the stuff that he said, he would be, you know, somebody would check him in 30 seconds, you know, and it probably wouldn't happen again. But hollering at him and making funny memes and doing this and doing that on TikTok is obviously not changing anything.
No, it's not. It's just
nah, bullying usually only makes things worse.
yeah.
I don't know, man. You know, I grew up I grew up in the country, and I don't. It's just different for me, I guess. But you know, I was pretty much raised with you approach a bully head on.
Yeah.
Head
So
on. You
so
do that
when
in the Buffalo aspect.
so when I see Chris and Doug and some of these other people on the app, uh, you know, and these people in the comments and they slamming them and they doing this and they doing that and they do, and these people snap and they say something off the wall, then to me I see that as kind of a retaliation, you know. And then you get into a point to where somebody sees, oh, I got them triggered, so now the next time they come in live, they know exactly what to say and how to do to trigger them again.
Yep, that's exactly what they do with Chris.
You know, and my thing is, look, if you're really about awareness, just leave them alone. You know, ask people to block them and leave them alone. Because look, instead of sending 300 people into these lives to bash them and call them names and point out everything they've done wrong for the last 27 years, why not just ask people to ignore them and block them? And that way they quit showing up on FYPs and timelines. And you know what? After a while, they flush on out of the system.
Yeah, so what happens, like you were saying earlier, that puts everything out on the FYP page, you're trying to bring awareness, is what they say, but what you're actually doing is you're putting it out there more and more and more, and not everybody believes the same that you believe. Not everyone thinks the same as you think. You think you're bringing awareness. You might be bringing awareness to certain folks, but you're also bringing new followers to that person that you're trying to bring awareness against. The best way is exactly what Jeffrey is saying, and that's just block them and ignore them, move on. The more that happens, if every person that has an issue with him just ignored him, eventually the people that are going through this stuff, they're going to see that this person is not changing. All right, there's no more trolls anymore going in here aggravating him to make him do this, but yet he's still acting in this manner, in this manner, in this manner. That will slowly start trickling them people leaving. The good people that are in there, they're going to stay in there because you keep attacking him, and they see that wrong. They see what you're doing and see that to be wrong.
It's just like the comment.
So they're going to stay.
I think it's Lee there. Nobody can look away from a crash, and I agree with that. It's like a train wreck. You don't want to see it, but you can't quit looking at it. And that, as long as you have listen, I've sat and thought about it because I'm like, how can people actually do people this way? And the only thing that comes to mind to me is the monopoly. They need, again, the beggars and the scammers need the awareness groups like the awareness groups need the beggars and scammers. Here's the problem. Awareness on this app used to be pretty solid. Now everybody is trying to do awareness. And to be honest, half of them don't have no business even thinking about doing awareness. And I got to be honest again here. You tell me, what sense does it make for somebody that has been addicted to rugs or selling rugs or something of that nature to bully and bash and bring awareness, like maybe they've got clean, quit, whatever. But how does that make it right for them to bring that same awareness on somebody that's doing the exact same thing they've done and been through? Just what? Because they waited later in life to get clean, or none of it makes no sense to me. That's the reason I don't try to do the awareness and all of this and that. I mean, I'm not awareness or anti-beggar or none of that. I'm anti-bullshit. And my problem with it is when I see, I watch some of these people, and it's not that hard to know what they're about. And it just makes no sense. How do you bash a man for being a drunk and you got a beer in your hand while you're doing it? How do you beat a man down for being an addict when you've been an addict for most of your life, and by the grace of God or whatever you believe in, you got clean? It just makes no sense to me, man. I mean, that's my problem with it. I don't have a problem. Now, I'm not gonna lie. There's a couple that I do have a major problem with. But other than that, I mean, I don't care what nobody does on this app. But don't sell me tickets to a ball game that ain't happening. And that's exactly what's being done with a lot of this awareness. I'm not saying there's not some good awareness out there, because there is. But unfortunately, 98% of it is done for views, clicks, clout, whatever you want to call it. And it's done to build pages. So I don't see how I don't see how that's any different than what the people is doing that they're bringing awareness to. In my opinion, it's worse, because you're actually tearing somebody down daily in order to do it.
It's not going to work that way. I mean, you can't sit there and break a person into a million pieces over and over and over and over.
And Mikey J, your comment, you said Doug unblocked Scotty. Notice Scotty comes in on his main account. You're exactly right. And I'm going to tell you what else I've noticed. I've noticed when the views get low, he ramps up the drama. And people get unblocked, and because you know why? When when creators come in and they start bashing him and doing this and doing that, the numbers grow, the money goes up.
Yep.
And listen, it makes it so much easier for these people because at that point they don't have to get up and do things to make actual good content. Their content is basically sitting there arguing with trolls, and you know what? We all flock in there to see it because we want to see what happens next.
Drama sells.
Yeah. Yep.
Big time.
It's all, like I said, it's all a big monopoly. The only person that actually loses is your average TikTok follower. That's it. You know, new people come and go, and they say that's the reason for keeping awareness up is because we've got to let the new people know. Well, new people come and you know, everybody on this app is not, I don't know if I can say the D word, they're not learning to fish it. So it don't take them long to figure out, hey, this person's full of BS or not. And you know what? A lot of people that gift on this app, they don't care. They don't see it as them scamming or whatever. They just go in there. Some people love to battle, and they just want whatever room they in to win. So you know, and as far as TikTok not being a job, listen, I can't make a job out of TikTok, but I guess it's 2024. And if you can figure out how to make $1,200–1,500 a week on social media, where I'm from, that's damn good money. Make it.
Yeah. There's people that make more than that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And, you know, they want me, like, take, for example, Big King, the Rook Caller, people like that. You know, some of those guys make millions of dollars a year.
Yep.
And you want me with under 100,000, 100K a year job. I don't even make that. So I'm supposed to take my little old under 100.